Before learning about female psychology, I struggled to attract any girls, and the ones that I did attract, I quickly lost. But after learning the 3 keys to attraction and the 3 keys to seduction, I started attracting more girls than I could handle. The first key to attraction is so essential that without it, no girl will be interested in you. So when I was younger in high school, I did not pay attention to my looks at all. I would go to school with my hair a complete mess. I wore clothes that didn't look good. They were highlighter colored. It just was an overall bad look as a whole. And girls reflected this. I didn't get much attention from girls. The little attention I did get, I wasn't able to do anything with it. And now, most recently, just a weekend or two ago in Norway, I was walking down in the street. This was at like 12 o'clock, going from one club to the next, looking sharp. I had on my blue chino pants, a white shirt, and a matching blue blazer that was tailored to me to fit me extraordinarily well. And when I was walking down the street, a girl made a comment in Norwegian saying something about me. I didn't know exactly what she said, but I was just like, hey, what's up? And we started talking, and I built that sexual tension so much to the point where I just kissed this girl after just meeting her in the street. So the first thing that's going to really allow you to get tons and tons of attraction from girls is your looks. You need to be looks maxing, focusing on the areas that you can control, like your hair, your facial hair, your style, your physique. All the things that you can control, you need to optimize, and the things that you cannot control, like your height or your facial structure, those are the things you just need to let go of, because there's no point in stressing about the things you can't control. I am 5'7", so a lot of you guys are going to say I'm on the shorter side, but I have tons of success with girls because I prioritize focusing on the things that I can control. And this is the first key to attraction, is maximizing your looks. Now, once your looks are fully optimized, there's something that will take you from a 6 to a 10. At 18 years old, I looked very similar to how I do now. And at times I would get attention from girls at like cliff jumping spots. They would see my body, and sometimes we would get into a conversation. I struggled to hold it though, and I couldn't really take it that far, and I'd quickly lose that attraction that I did build from my looks. And now, the way I interact with the world at large, and girls specifically, makes me wildly attractive. And let me give you an example from about 2 weekends ago here in Norway. So I was at the bar. I went there completely by myself. I was grabbing a drink, and across the way, I saw a girl make eye contact with me. So as soon as I grabbed my drink, I walked immediately over to her. I saw she had a very cool tattoo. It was a pistol with a suppressor, and I actually liked it. So I gave her a genuine compliment saying, I really love that tattoo. And she said, thank you, and I introduced myself. I ended up sitting down with her, talking to her, being my authentic self, and even saying something when she asked me about music. Instead of just saying the basic stuff like dance and rap, I told her I also like classical music. And this is something that I've gotten made fun of before on dates, but I'm not I don't really care. But she took it really well. She was like, wow, he's being his authentic self. And she also liked classical music, so she gave me a song recommendation. And this built attraction even further. So what I'm trying to say here, the lesson is you need to be your authentic self. You need to go after what you want, and you need to have the confidence to do it. Confidence is what's going to make you go from a 6 to a 10. In the story that I described, everything about it was confident. When I made eye contact with her, and immediately once I got my drink, walked over to her. The way I introduced myself, giving her a compliment, just being a charming, charismatic guy. Having a conversation and being my authentic self throughout it in many different situations. That was only one example. This is what makes me attractive, to just be myself, to go after what I want. I ended up kissing her when we were sitting there. These are the things that make me so attractive now, is my confidence. And boys, if you want my confidence transformation guide that allowed me to go from a shy, insecure kid when I was younger to being a confident playboy now, getting with any girl that I want, all because of my confidence, that's going to be completely free for you in the link in the description below. It's the first one. You can grab that now. Before we get into the rules of seduction, there's one thing that girls find attractive that's difficult to achieve, but if you do, it's a complete game changer. So what you got to understand is, as a man, your attractiveness isn't just going to come from your looks, and it's not just going to come from confidence. There's one last thing that if you can get, it will set you up for life. And this is going to be status. So what you understand is that all men are in competition in many different areas of life. And when you win and you're the best at something, it just showcases to girls that you're just a very competitive, ambitious guy, and it showcases a lot of the character traits that they find attractive when you're the best at something and you have that status. Now, status can come in many different forms. You could be a rapper, you could be a lawyer and be a very good lawyer, you can own your own practice, you can have a good physique, And all these things are showcasing that you're excelling in something that all men are competing at. Like something basic like a physique just shows that you have the discipline and consistency to make it to the top 10% of men, when most people are obese, or even if they're just skinny fat, you have the big chest and six pack. You are someone who has outdone every other man. This is status, right? So this is in many different fields, and you should really be trying to spend as much of your time and energy setting yourself up for the future by building as much status across the board as possible. This is what's going to really allow you to have long-term success and attraction from girls. Now that you know how to attract girls, this is the first step in seducing them. So from that story above, when I met that girl with the cool tattoo and we started getting into a conversation, the initial step before I could kiss her was, I had to be that charming, charismatic individual. I couldn't just walk up to her because she made eye contact with me and kiss her. You can pull this off on the dance floor, and I have done it many times. But when you're actually trying to get to know someone and you want to have something longer term than just a quick kiss or a one night stand, you need an emotional connection. This is the ground which every relationship you have in your life is based off of. And when you're trying to get to know girls and seduce them, it's the absolute essential. So you want to just have a real personal conversation, talking to her about herself as much as possible. She's going to want to know about you a little bit. You can tell her some stuff, but be a little vague. Don't be telling her everything. Don't go on to the point where, she's not asking follow-up questions, right? So if they want to ask follow-up questions, that's fine. But you should mostly be focusing on talking to them, because if they talk to you about themselves, they're going to feel like they really developed that emotional connection that they crave. This is going to allow you to set the stage for a seduction and seducing a girl overall. But you need that emotional connection. Without it, you can't really take many steps. Maybe you can kiss a girl on the dance floor or take her home for the night, but it's never going to go beyond there. You need to develop the emotional connection before anything else can happen. And if you use this next thing right, it will make girls fantasize about you. So last summer, I was seeing this girl, and the only thing she really knew about my work that I did was that I did some sort of sales and I was a business owner. And she never really asked too many questions, and I love that, because now she was just always wondering, like, what does he do? And she was always saying, like, I don't really even know what you do for work. Like, how do you even make all this money? And I was like, don't worry, baby. I would just always play it off. And what I was doing here is selling mystery. Because if I broke down every single detail of what I did in my business and how I worked 8 hours a day taking sales calls and did this and that, it's boring. No one cares. It's so much better to just have like a significant income and then just have it be like, oh, I'm a business owner, I have an online business, something like that. And then just kind of like playing it off. If they really want to drill you for those questions, you can of course answer them. But selling mystery and keeping things vague allow girls to fantasize about you. You don't want to talk about yourself so much to the point where they feel like they know you. Because when girls feel like they know you so much, there's the loss of mystery. It just makes you, familiarity is the opposite of seduction. You want mystery, you want excitement, you want them to be curious about you, always wanting to get to know you a little more, allowing yourself to reveal new parts of your character down the line. This is what seduction is all about. So you don't want to allow girls to know everything about you right off the bat, because it's going to kill that mystery, and that seduction is just going to be ruined. Now, this is arguably one of the most important parts of seduction. So I slept with this girl about a year ago, and we had amazing sex. We went for 3 rounds. It was like tons of positions. She came, I came so many times, and it was just fun. Like, we slept with each other all night. Like, we made the most of this one night stand, and she really liked me, and we still talk now to this day. I think it's been about 9 months later, and we plan to see each other when I get back to Sweden. And it's so essential that you have your performance dialed in, because I've also slept with girls where I've messed up and I've came instantly. I haven't had sex for a while, I was sober or something, and I couldn't last. And that shit will kill any seduction. They're like, this dude can't even last a second. It just ruins everything. Everything you've built up gets ruined if you come instantly or you're terrible at sex. You need to have your performance dialed in. And like I said, I've made tons of mistakes. I've made so many. I've had to learn this the hard way. But once it's dialed in, this is going to be a huge factor in keeping girls, and they're going to really, really love if you give them a good performance and you prioritize them, allow them to come, and really give them a good experience as a whole. They're going to want to see you again. And boys, once again, confidence is absolutely essential in all of this. If you want to get girls, confidence is the number one thing you should be focusing on developing. So that's why I built you that guide where I give you every single step that I took to develop my confidence and become the man I am today. I'm giving it to you for free. It's the first link in the description below. You can grab that now.